to illustrate the factoring principle of factoring by the greatest common factor, which is always the first thing you should look for when trying to factor. It's also important that I think for students to understand what factoring is. And so remember, factoring turns addition and subtraction expressions into a multiplication expression. That's a very, very powerful tool. Alright, so anyway, when I'm factoring by greatest common factor, what I want to do here is I want to find the common terms, or the common factors in each term of my expression and take that out. So for example, this first one, I have 4m squared n plus 16m cubed plus 7m. And if you notice, there is a m in every term. And it almost looks like there's a 4 in every term except for the 7 that messes us up. And there's an n only in one term. So m is the only thing we can take out. And I can only take out m to the first power because all my other terms, 7m has a m to the first power. All the others have more than that, but the 7m only has 1. So I take out that 1m. When I do that, I'm left with, in my first term, I'm just left with 1m left. I had 2, but now I only have 1. The second term, I had 3, but I took 1 out, so I'm left with 2. And lastly, I took all the m's out, so I'm just left with 7 times m to the 0 power, or 1. And I said m to the 0. I think it's important to remember that what we're employing here is the principle that a to the m times a to the n equals a to the m plus n. So I started out with m to the first power. I took out m to the first power, so that means I'm left with a to the 0 power, or m to the 0 power here. Okay, in my second example, I have 6xy cubed plus 9y cubed minus 12x y to the fourth. Alright, and so now I see some other things that are common. First of all, there is a y in each term, and actually there's a y to the third power in each term. And also I have some multiple of 3 in each term. So I believe I can take out a 3. Alright, so I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take out a 3y cubed. And when I do that, in my first term, when I took out the 3, I'm left with a 2, an x, and I've taken out all the y's, so that's all that I can do. In my second term, I had a 9, so I took out a 3, I'm left with 3. And I had 3 y's, I took out 3 y's, so I'm done. And in my last term, I take out the 3, I'm left with a 4x, and I took out 3 y's, which means I have 1 left over, so I have 4xy. So there it is, there it's factored. 3y cubed times 2x plus 3 minus 4xy. Okay, this last example, in this last example, we have x cubed minus y quantity squared minus x cubed minus y. It looks a little different, but you have to notice my terms are this entire expressions, x cubed minus y. Those are my terms. And in both terms have a common factor, which is the x cubed minus y. So if I take out an x cubed minus y, out of my first term I had x cubed minus y quantity squared, so I had 2 of those, and I'm only left with 1. So I have an x cubed minus y. In my second term, I only had 1 x cubed minus y, and I took it out. So I'm left with a minus 1 here. So that's it. I might drop the parentheses on the inside to say I have x cubed minus y times x cubed minus y minus 1. So that really is factoring by greatest common factor. Again, that should be the first thing you look for when you're trying to factor. There are some more complicated examples, and I have a video showing that if you want to find it. And I hope this makes sense. It's, again, a very useful tool. If you have any questions, please let me know. And thanks for watching.